Gold coin asterisk. Chapter 1. The Discovery asterisk. In the small, sleepy town of Crossfield, the lives of the residents followed a predictable rhythm. The same faces walked the streets, and the same voices echoed through the markets every day. But for Lucas Reynolds, life felt like it had reached a standstill. He was in his late 20s, an aspiring archaeologist, but his career had not quite taken off as he had hoped. He worked as a local museum curator, a job that he was passionate about, but it lacked the excitement of unearthing real history. Still, he couldn't complain. He had his work, his friends, and a life that, while unremarkable, was comfortable. One day, as Lucas wandered through the museum's storage room, a strange, dusty old box caught his eye. It was hidden under a pile of old papers and forgotten artifacts. The box was weathered, its wood cracked and splintering in places. Intrigued, Lucas carefully opened it. Inside was a small cloth pouch. As he untied the string, the cloth revealed a shining gold coin. It was old, far older than any coin he had ever seen. Its edges were worn, but its surface was still intact, gleaming with a soft, mysterious glow. On one side, there was an intricate design, symbols Lucas didn't recognize. His heart raced. This wasn't just any coin. The weight of it felt significant, almost as if it had been waiting for him. Chapter 2. The coin's history asterisk. The moment Lucas saw the coin, something clicked inside him. His mind began to race with possibilities. Could it be an ancient treasure? A relic from a forgotten civilization? He had to know more. Determined to uncover the coin's history, Lucas spent the next few days at the library, poring over old books and manuscripts, trying to find any reference to the strange symbols on the coin. He wasn't sure why, but he couldn't shake the feeling that this discovery was important for more than just his career. After days of research, Lucas came across a mention of a mysterious gold coin in an ancient text. It described a legend about a lost treasure, hidden by a group of explorers centuries ago. The treasure was said to be cursed, and the coin was the key to unlocking it. But there was a warning: those who sought the treasure would be tempted by greed, and the coin would lead them to ruin if they weren't careful. The story made Lucas shiver. He wasn't the superstitious type, but something about the coin and the legend seemed too coincidental. He couldn't stop thinking about it. He had to know if the legend was real. He had to know if this was his chance to make a real discovery, to leave his mark on history. Chapter 3. The Temptation asterisk. As the days passed, Lucas became more obsessed with the coin. He kept it close, often holding it in his hand as he worked. He had become fixated on the idea of the treasure, the idea of what it could mean for him. It wasn't just about the discovery anymore. The idea of wealth, fame, and legacy began to cloud his thoughts. He could picture himself as the hero of the story, the one who found the long-lost treasure, the one who was remembered for generations. But with the growing obsession came a strange sense of unease. At night, Lucas would dream of the coin. The symbols would twist and shift in his dreams, and he would hear whispers in the darkness. The voices seemed to beckon him, urging him to follow the path to the treasure, promising riches beyond his wildest dreams. One evening, Lucas couldn't take it anymore. He decided to follow the clues in the old book, to search for the treasure that had been hidden for centuries. He packed a bag with supplies and set off, determined to uncover the mystery that had consumed him. Chapter 4: The Journey Begins *. The journey led him deep into the forest surrounding Crossfield, to a place that few people dared to venture. It was an ancient, untouched land, full of myths and untold stories. As Lucas walked through the dense woods, he felt a strange sensation, as though he was being watched. He shook off the feeling, telling himself it was just his imagination. But deep down, a part of him knew that he was crossing a threshold, one that would change his life forever. The path was difficult, filled with thorns, rocks, and steep inclines, but Lucas pressed on, driven by the desire to find what lay at the end of the journey. He had no idea what he would find, only that the coin, the one small object that had sparked this adventure, would lead him to it. After several days of hiking, Lucas came upon an old stone structure, partially hidden by the overgrowth. It was an ancient ruin, its stones covered in moss, its arches broken and crumbling. This was it, the place the book had described. The treasure had to be here. Chapter 5: The Curse *. As Lucas explored the ruins, his excitement grew. He followed the symbols on the coin, noticing similar markings etched into the stone walls. His heart raced as he realized he was getting closer to the treasure. He couldn't help but smile. He had done it. He had found the treasure that so many had sought and failed to uncover. But as he ventured deeper into the ruins, something began to feel wrong. The air grew heavier, the silence more oppressive. Lucas's footsteps echoed loudly in the emptiness, and he felt an unsettling presence in the air. It was as if the very walls were watching him, waiting for him to make a mistake. Then, as if in answer to his unease, a voice boomed from the shadows. "You should not have come." Lucas froze, his heart pounding. The voice was deep, ancient, and filled with authority. It came from nowhere, and yet it seemed to surround him. I don't understand," Lucas whispered, his voice trembling. "I came to find the treasure. I've followed the clues. I need to know. It's my destiny." The voice chuckled, a low, mocking sound. "Destiny? You fool. This treasure is cursed. The coin you hold is a key, yes, but it is also a trap. Those who seek it are doomed to be consumed by their greed. It will take everything from you. The temperature in the room dropped suddenly, and the shadows seemed to grow longer, reaching out toward Lucas. His pulse raced. Was this real? Or was it just his mind playing tricks on him? The voice spoke again, softer this time, but no less menacing. The treasure you seek will not bring you happiness. It will ruin you, just as it has ruined so many others. Chapter 6: The Choice Asterisk. Lucas stood at the heart of the ruins, the gold coin still clutched tightly in his hand. The whispers grew louder, urging him to turn back, to leave the treasure behind. But in the face of all the warnings, his desire to find the treasure was stronger. He had come this far, he couldn't go back now. He continued deeper into the ruins, his thoughts clouded with visions of what the treasure could bring. But as he reached the final chamber, the reality of his situation struck him. In the center of the room was a large stone chest, ornately carved and glowing faintly with a golden light. The treasure was within his reach. But before he could open it, the ground beneath him began to tremble. The walls cracked, and the ceiling began to crumble. The chest, too, began to shake violently, as if the very earth was rejecting it. Lucas's heart raced in panic as he backed away, but it was too late. The chest burst open, revealing a massive, glowing object, the treasure. But it wasn't what Lucas had expected. It wasn't gold, jewels, or riches. It was a mirror. As Lucas gazed into the mirror, his reflection changed. He saw himself not as the young archaeologist he was, but as a man broken by greed, his face twisted with obsession. The curse of the treasure had taken hold. The more he looked, the more he saw himself consumed by it. He realized that the treasure wasn't gold or jewels, it was the destruction of his soul. Chapter 7: The Price of Greed Asterisk. Lucas stumbled backward, his mind reeling. The whispers in the air grew louder, but this time, they were no longer urging him on. They were laughing at his foolishness. The treasure had shown him the truth, that what he had sought was never meant for him. The cost of greed was too high. As the ruins continued to collapse around him, Lucas realized that he had to make a choice. He could take the treasure and let it destroy him, or he could walk away and preserve what little was left of his soul. With a final, gut-wrenching effort, Lucas turned and ran. The treasure was no longer important to him. He had learned the harshest lesson of all, that sometimes the greatest treasure is the life we already have. Epilogue: The Return Asterisk. Lucas returned to Crossfield, a changed man. He gave the gold coin to the local museum, but he never spoke of the treasure again. Over time, the story of the cursed treasure faded into legend, and Lucas resumed his quiet life. But deep down, he carried the lesson with him always. The pursuit of greed, no matter how alluring, could never bring true happiness. The most valuable things in life were those that could never be bought, and the greatest treasure lay not in wealth, but in the relationships and the peace that one finds along the way. The end. Did you enjoy this story? Like the video and comment. Subscribe channel. See you the next video. Have a nice day.